Good afternoon, everyone. It's a new day. We've done a little bit of work off stream, but we're back. Today we are gonna finally build starter house. I think we need to have somewhere to live in the immediate time and start sorting out some storage. Other than that, we've also got a nice little spawner that we've found just under our base. So we're going to be building a nice zombie XP farm as well. And we'll probably start on some villages. We need to start getting some enchantments. So I think that's probably going to be the plan for today. But first, let's go over what I've been up to and where we are now. So, as the old meme goes, I've done a little bit of mining off stream. We haven't got the most massive amount of stuff, but we importantly do have full iron gear, which is always good. And we also have a diamond hoe. Shout out to my wife for that one. Thank you very much, Cheers. That is very nice indeed. So we've got some diamonds as well. Could use some of them to make some gear, but at the moment I'm quite happy with iron gear. Now, other than that, we have expanded our tree farm a little bit. As you can see, we've now got 4 types of tree. So we've got dark oak, birch, and spruce. So we just need some acacia and some jungle, and we will have all the woods. But, you know, that's a pretty good going for now anyway. Other than that, I mean, the village is still the absolute nightmare that it was in its weird layout and everything else. But you might be able to just see over yonder, we have put together a little bit of a manual sugarcane farm, and we've started farming a few crops as well, just to get things moving. So this cobblestone pillar here, that is above where the zombie spawner is. It's not very far down either. So that is going to be quite an easy little job to put together. We're hopefully very soon going to have some villagers. So we are going to want some levels for some enchanting. Now, I've been thinking about what we're going to do for a main build. What we're going to do in this area. And I was thinking, well, what's the thing about mesas? They have lots of mine shafts. Way more mine shafts than anywhere else. So obviously in the lore of Minecraft, at some point in their past, they were mined. At some point in the past, there was obviously something in the mesas that was very important. And you'll probably guess that the other thing that's regularly found in mesas is gold. So these used to be, at some point, a gold farm, a gold mine. So what we're going to do over the course of this season is we're going to very slowly, and I say slowly, it's going to take a long time, but we're going to build up a mining complex underground for this gold. We're going to envision what it might have looked like when it was active. This little bay area we have in front of us, this is going to be the entrance to the mine. There is actually a mine shaft down the bottom there. You can see where that torch is actually. And so it's kind of the perfect place to build out from. We've also got this waterway that kind of, there's water here and then a little bit of a mesa hill, and then we're out into the swamp. So I figure that this is the perfect place for a dock and a distribution network. This would be where the ships would come in, they would collect up their gold, and they'd head back out again through the swamp and head off to wherever they are to take their gold. Of course, it also then makes sense that there's a village here. The miners have to live somewhere. The miners have to sleep, eat, and all the rest of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the village that we have and we're going to improve on the village. We're going to make it a little bit more like it makes sense, because at the moment it is a bit of a disaster. We're going to improve on the buildings as well. I think over the course of the time, all the buildings will be replaced. Then we're going to build this grand entrance with minecarts coming in and out, piles of gold, people working away. There'll probably be some sort of like trading posts, and the ships will be coming in, bringing in their wares to trade with the miners. And I think that's basically going to be our overarching plan for the season. Inside this mountain or this mesa, we will be putting in our farms. I think all the sort of mob farms and the hidden farms, they're all going to be underground in this area. Make use of the mines. We're going to spruce up the mine shafts, make them look nice. So that's the plan, really. Now, if we are imagining that, you know, this is our mine, we own the mine, we run the mine, it would also make sense that we have a house. We have to have somewhere to stay. And so that's what our starter home is going to be. We are going to build the first building to be renovated. Well, it's a new building. It's not really going to be renovated, but it's going to be our starter base. It's going to be our starter base. We're going to build it right here. And to do it, we're going to need a lot of wood. Now, we've got basically no wood right now. So, it's a good job we have a bit of a wood farm going, isn't it? So, let's, without further ado, get some farming of wood done. It's worth also noting that at some point I will make a portal, but not right now. We don't need to worry about that. Soon. Soon. So then, guys, let's get some wood cutting. Well, that's the first axe nearly done. Let's get some more. I didn't really think about that. Right, there we go. I think we've got a nice selection of wood there now, so we should be good For materials, we'll obviously go back and replant and probably expand that actually as well in a little while. But now I think it's time we take a crack at building this building. I'll see you guys on the other side. Wish me luck. Okay, so we are back, and you might notice... Oh, excuse me, villager. Excuse me. Thank you. You might notice my armor's changed a little bit. We've been quite busy, so it's actually now a couple of days later, and we did make a start on the house. We'll have a look at that in a second. But we also ended up doing quite a lot of tooling as well. So we've got some bits and pieces armor-wise. I know this weekend, basically, the team is planning to fight the Ender Dragon. So I thought it was about time we start trying to armor up a bit. So we managed to get some more diamonds after a lot of mining. Managed to start putting together some armor, get a few enchantments going as well. Focused on getting the picks working properly because we really needed Fortune 3 so we could start getting the most iron out of stuff that we can. And yeah, then we started to work on a few bits and pieces. You'll see behind me down there, we've expanded our farms. And there's also a little cobblestone build down there, which we'll go have a look at in a minute. That's a little something for us to look at. But right now, let's take a look at the start of our house. Okay, so here is what we are working with so far. As you can see, it's not much of a house yet, but I've started working on a colour palette. I really like the mixture of the different types of sand and sandstone, and then the logs here as well. I think it's going to work well with the general feeling of the village as we rebuild and improve the village, and it's a good size, I feel, as well for a starter base. We've also set up a portal back here that's just going up. Oh, and there's a zombie piglin. Hello there, sir. And that's just obviously taking us through to the nether, and we have started to set up a bit of a nether highway, or the team has anyway. So down here, this is really what I've done so far, and we've made a little bit of a basement where we are going to have our storage, and there's our riches currently, so we're a little bit less poor. And this is where we are going to have everything set up. We've got a little bit of a sort of smelter that I need to finish as well, because we're missing some chests there, and obviously we need some hoppers with chests in the front here for input. But that's all coming together quite nicely, and like I say, this will be our storage area in our little base. So it still needs some work down here, but basically the kind of framework is set up, and then we can come down here, we'll add something underneath these chests so they're not floating, and we'll sort of make the place a little bit more improved. We are using half slabs down here so that I can keep the lighting pretty low level. Well, I'm kind of going for the dingy look. In fact, I might even get rid of that one there. Just kind of to fit the basement dungeony feeling, really. So I think the next thing we need to do definitely on here is finish the building, and we'll get onto that shortly. But let's just go over here. So here is another build that I have been working on. You might remember that we had a zombie spawner in episode 1 that we found directly below our base. So we transported it into a little bit of a zombie farm. Hello, sir. Now I've gone with a little bit of a different kind of configuration than I normally do. So instead of having the zombies dropping down, so you are very loud. Instead of having the zombies drop down, we're having them come up in a water column. It's not as efficient, but I think it's going to make for a bit of an interesting farm, and we'll probably integrate it into something a bit larger, possibly having multiple sort of ways to kill different types of mobs, or some sort of improvement on the farm as we go on. But as you can see, they do spawn in quite nicely, and you can kill them and get all those lovely drops. So I was just heading back home from seeing Ches, and it looks like these goats have been up to something. There's an awful lot of leather and beef on the floor. Now, I'm not judging, but I would say there's been a little bit of a fight here, and one side has won. Okay, I think we might now have at least the outside of our starter base finally built. We have a home. It's not too bad, really. It is only episode 2. It's only taken us 2 episodes to get here. It normally takes way longer for me to actually build up some sort of home. So I'm happy with that. Now, let's take a look, shall we? Here you go. So this is my hut, my starter home, my hut, if you will. The home of the owner of the mines, who is going to be overlooking his village. And so, of course, his house is much bigger than those around him. He has a wooden framed building, as you can see, whereas most of the buildings are all just made out of sandstone. So, a much sturdier build. Got a bit of shrubbery outside, of course, because of the biome. It's a little dead, but it kind of actually works quite nicely. And we go inside, and as I said, we've only really done the outside so far. So the inside, you've got nice exposed beams, a bit of terracotta support. We've got the bed, which is overlooking, of course, the actual mine area. And this, I think, will be a great view once we start building up stuff around the mine. And, of course, when we're at night, we can close down the shutters and block the world out. We've also got a view from here, showing off our nice tree plantation. So we can keep an eye on all those workers as they're working away on the trees. And then over here, we've got a nice little cactus pot plant. And he can then also look out over the village and make sure that his workers are behaving properly. And then finally, one more window, because I just actually really like this view, I think. Looking out over the savannah, nope, looking out over the mesa really is a cool view. And I like it. So, we put a thing on it. We've also downstairs, I said I was going to adjust the lighting a little bit so it's a bit darker and dingier down here. And we've extended the storage out to fill the area. We aren't using most of it yet. And obviously we don't have any item frames up yet saying what's in anything. So it's a little bit messy. And there's a missing block there. We've also finished off the kind of mini super smelter, which should be very useful, at least initially, for smelting anything up that we need. So we can then go back out through the back door and just have a look at the back of the building as well. We've got a couple more cactuses, a bit more shrubbery. And yeah, this is the build. Definitely tell me down below in the comments, let me know what you think. Maybe if you've got any suggestions on ways I could improve the outside, any ideas of what else I should put inside, because I'm definitely pretty bad at filling in interiors. And at the moment, like I said, we've just got the bed. This is a slabbed floor, as you can see, but we could always bring it down if needed. So yeah, I think we are going to end that one here for today. Once again, thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you had a good time watching, at least as much fun as I had doing it. And watch out for next episode, because next episode we are taking on the Ender Dragon. That's right, it's going to be a community event. We're going to fight the Ender Dragon multiple times, try and get everyone an elytra. And I will be spectating the event so we can get some really cool shots of the dragon fight and everything going on. I might even try and get shaders running for that one. Get some real cinematic shots in. We'll see how it goes. So, thank you very much, guys. I will see you next time. Bye for now.